Good morning, students. So in this video we'll study about the leaf. So leaf is quite big topic. So there are so many subtopics which we have to study in leaf, such as we have to study about the venation, what are the different types of venation found in leaf. Then we will study about what are the different types of leaves. Then we will study about what is phyllotaxy, and lastly we will study about what are the modifications of leaf. So now we'll start our topic, leaf. So what is the basic information about the leaf we will discuss. So the leaf is a lateral, generally flattened structure borne on the stem. So leaf, it is a lateral structure. Lateral means, so there are three different side: dorsal side, ventral side, and lateral side. So dorsal side means back side, ventral side means that front side, and lateral side means the side portion of our body. So for example, our hands, they are placed in lateral side of our body. So leaf, they are generally lateral in origin, and they are flat structure and born on stem. So on which part of the plant they will present? So they will develop on stem. So in this diagram you can see that this is a stem, and this leaf, they will laterally grow. It develops at the node and bears a bud in its axil. The axillary bud later develops into a branch. So these leaves, they will develop from the node, and they will possess bud in its axil. So in this diagram it will be clear. So this is a stem and this is the leaf. So these leaf, they will arise from the node of the stem and their axil. So in their axil they will possess bud, and these bud in future they will develop into a stem. Now leaves originate from shoot apical meristems and are arranged in an acropetal order. They are the most important vegetative organs for photosynthesis. So three important points are given in this slide. So first thing is that the leaves originate from shoot apical meristem, and second one is these leaves, they are arranged in an acropetal order, and these leaves are the most important vegetative organs for photosynthesis. So one by one we will discuss. So the first point is given: leaves originate from the shoot apical meristem. So always we have to remember, so there are three different regions in plant body where the meristematic tissue, they are confined: apical meristematic tissue, lateral meristematic tissue, intercalary meristematic tissue. So we have to remember that these leaves, they will originate from which type of meristematic tissue? So shoot apical meristem. So in this diagram it will be clear. So this is a apical meristematic tissue or apical meristem of plant, and from this shoot apical meristem, the primordium or the future leaf, they will arise from the shoot apical meristem. And second point is given that these leaves, they are arranged in acropetal order. So what is the meaning of acropetal order and basipetal order? So these two are the arrangement of leaf or maybe arrangement of flower. So in these two pattern, the leaves or flowers, they may be arranged. So we will discuss about acropetal and basipetal order simultaneously. So in this diagram it will be clear that in acropetal, first we will discuss about the acropetal arrangement of leaf. So in acropetal arrangement of leaf, what will happen? The older leaves, they will present at the base, and the younger leaves, they will be present towards the apex. In basipetal manner of arrangement of leaves, what will happen? The younger leaves, they will present at the base, and the older leaves, they will present towards the apex. So this is the basic difference between the acropetal arrangement of leaves or flowers and basipetal arrangement of leaves or flowers. So leaves may be arranged in this manner, or flowers, they may be arranged in these manners. Now, third important point which was given here, that leaves are the most important vegetative organs for photosynthesis. So try to recall that the transverse section of leaf. So we all know that process of photosynthesis takes place in the leaf, and in which part of the leaf the process of photosynthesis takes place. So this diagram was also given in your class 10 book. So if we will cut the vertical section of leaf, then we will observe this structure. So the outermost structure is a waxy cuticle, and this is the upper epidermis, and below upper epidermis, so there are two types of cells which remain present. One is a palisade cell, and second one is a spongy cells. So palisade cells and spongy cells, they are collectively known as mesophyll cells, and inside these palisade cell and spongy cell, process of photosynthesis takes place, because these palisade cell and spongy cell, they possess numerous chloroplasts, and inside chloroplast the process of photosynthesis takes place. So I hope this slide is clear now. Leaves originate from shoot apical meristems and are arranged in an acropetal order, and they are the most important vegetative organs for photosynthesis. Now, a typical leaf consists of three main parts: leaf base, petiole, and lamina. So, simple straightforward question will come: what are the different parts of a typical leaf? So, a typical leaf consists of three different parts. First one is a leaf base, second one is a petiole, and third one is a lamina. So, these three are the parts of a typical leaf. So now one by one we will discuss. So in this diagram you can see, so this is the leaf base, and this stalk like structure is the petiole, and this broad green structure, this is the lamina. So now we will discuss about the leaf base. What is the function of this leaf base? So the leaf is attached to the stem by the leaf base and may bear two lateral small leaf like structures called stipules. So stipule is very important. So what is the function of leaf base? So leaf is attached to the stem by the help of leaf base. So these leaf base, they will help in the attachment of leaf with the stem, and at the base of the leaf base, so there will be two lateral small leaf like structure will develop, and this structure is known as stipule. So in this diagram it will be clear. So this is a leaf base, and from this leaf base two small leaf like structure you can see, and this structure is known as stipule. So if any leaf is, so in the at the base of leaf, if stipule will remain present, then such type of leaf is known as stipulate leaf, and if the stipule will absent at the leaf base, then such type of leaf is known as axis stipulate leaf. Now in monocotyledons, the leaf base expands into a sheath covering the stem partially or wholly. So in monocot plant, especially in case of maize plant, what we observe that, so this is a leaf of a maize plant. So this is a node from where the leaf will arise. So this particular part is the leaf base, and there is no petiole, and finally this is the lamina part of the leaf. So in monocot plant, what we are observing that the leaf base, it will modify and it will become a sheath like structure, and it will surrounds, or it will partially or wholly it will covers the stem part. So this type of arrangement we can see in the monocot plant. So same it is written here, in monocotyledons the leaf base expands into a sheath covering the stem partially or wholly. So in this diagram it is given. Now in some leguminous plants, the leaf base may become swollen, which is called the pulvinus. So in leguminous plant, what is the meaning of leguminous plant? So the pulses family, the plant from the pulses family, so they are termed as leguminous plant, and the touch me not plant, they are also leguminous plant. So they possess a specialized structure called pulvinus. So pulvinus is actually the swollen leaf base. The leaf base, it becomes swollen, and that swollen structure, swollen leaf base is known as pulvinus. So in this diagram it is clear. So this swollen leaf base, it is known as pulvinus. The petiole help hold the blade to light. Long, thin, flexible petioles allow leaf blades to flutter in wind, thereby cooling the leaf and bringing fresh air to leaf surface. So in this slide, mainly the function of petiole is given. So petiole is the second part of leaf. First part was the leaf base. Second part of leaf is petiole. So what is the function of petiole? So petiole help in holding the blade towards the light, and this long flexible petioles, they allow leaf blades to flutter in wind and thereby cooling the leaf and bringing fresh air to the leaf surface. Now we come to the third part of the leaf, which is the lamina part. So the lamina or the leaf blade is the green expanded part of the leaf with veins and veinlets. There is usually a middle prominent vein which is known as the midrib. So the lamina, it is also known as leaf blade. So the other name of lamina, it is leaf blade. And what is the color of this lamina or leaf blade? So they are usually green in color, and they are the expanded part of the leaf with veins and veinlets. So this lamina, they will possess veins and veinlets, and there is a usually a middle prominent vein which is known as midrib. So how we can define this midrib? The middle prominent vein of leaf is known as midrib. So in this diagram it will be clear that, so this green part, so this green expanded part of the leaf, it is known as lamina, and it will possess veins and veinlets. So these are the veins, and from these veins many further branches will arise which is known as veinlets, and this prominent middle vein of the lamina is known as midrib. So in this diagram you can see that the midrib, veins and veinlets, this structure is the midrib, and from midrib many veins will arise, and from these veins, this further network like structure you can see this. So this is the veinlets. Now what is the function of these veins and veinlets? So veins provide rigidity to the leaf blade and act as a channels for transport of water, minerals and food materials. So these, with the help of these veins and veinlets, so they will provide rigidity to the leaf surface, and they also help in transporting the water, minerals and food. Now on the basis of what is the shape of lamina, what is the margin of lamina, what is the shape of apex of the lamina, on the basis of surface and extent of incision of lamina, so we can categorize leaves into different types. So in this slide you can see that, so on the basis of the arrangement of veins, leaves are categorized as a net like or parallel. On the basis of the shape of lamina, leaves are categorized into hand shaped, spear shaped, heart shaped, round shaped, needle shaped. On the basis of arrangement or on the basis of incision in the leaf, leaves are of simple type, compound type. On the basis of the edge or margin, the leaves are of smooth, toothed and lobed. On the basis of the arrangement of leaf on stem, leaves are categorized into alternate leaves, opposite leaves and whorl leaf. So on the different criteria, there are different characteristics of lamina on which we can categorize leaves into different types. Now we will discuss about the venation. So what is venation? How we can define venation? So simply the arrangement of veins and the veinlets in the lamina of leaf is termed as venation. So this is a very simple definition of venation. So when the veinlets form a network, the venation is termed as reticulate venation. So in this diagram you can see that reticulate venation. So the veinlets, they will form network like structure. When the veins run parallel to each other within a lamina, the venation is termed as parallel venation. So in this diagram you can see that the arrangement of veins and veinlets, they are running parallelly to each other. So such type of arrangement of veins is known as parallel venation. Leaves of dicotyledonous plants generally possess reticulate venation, while parallel venation is a characteristic feature of monocotyledons. So this is an important difference between the dicotyledonous plant and monocotyledonous plant regarding their leaf. So what is the difference? In dicot plant, in the leaf of dicot plant, the venation will be reticulate venation, but on the other hand, in monocot plant, the leaf, inside the leaf, the venation will be parallel venation. So this much only in this video. In next video, we will study about the other, the types of leaves, the phyllotaxy and modification of leaf. Thank you.